What was done in the Monash Council this week? We had a meeting last Tuesday, and I thought I'd go through what was considered and decided by the Monash Council. I'll go through the agenda item by item. Some items will require a bit more explanation than others. So the first one was an update on the building cladding audits, rather. So that's the cladding that has come under some scrutiny across Victoria. There was a task force set up by the state government. Councils worked with that, and this is a report that was noting some of that work that has been undertaken. There are a number of properties within the city of Monash that will need to be either reconstructed to some respects, redesigned, or some modifications made. 1.2, there was changes to residential zones, and that's the C125 amendment. So that has been quite a long process. There's involvement from the state government, the planning minister, a lot of interest in the last few years, and that was, I'm not sure, was that yeah, so it's quite a detailed report, a lot of noting, and some requests being made to the planning minister to adopt some of the decisions that council has made in the last 18 months or so. A bit too long to go into detail, but of course residential zones and planning seems to be the biggest issue that any residents have with their council. Just ahead of parking, but certainly, when it comes to objecting or getting an approval from council, residents seeing that is their closest connection to the operations of any council. 1.3, a childcare centre in Mulgrave. From memory, that was approved. There was a proposal for townhouses in Hughesdale. 1.4. Similarly, a hotel in Mulgrave, just off Springvale Road in Nexus Court. Car wash as well, and a gym, an indoor gym. That was approved. 1.6, that was a rezoning of a area in Huntingdale. 1.7, a removal of a tree in Glen Waverley. Now, this comes under planning, but it's sort of its own issue. Removing trees is a polarising issue. There are people that want to remove trees on principle. They think that they should be able to remove trees unilaterally without any council involvement, whether it's in their own property or whether it's public trees in roads, in footpaths, where they're causing issues with buildings, commercial buildings. It could be on in a shopping centre, or it could be near a school. And then there are those people that say no, trees should not be removed unless there are absolutely exceptional circumstances. And then there are people that are in the middle that say, well, it depends on the issue, it depends on the case, it depends on the tree, depends on what the arborist report says. Now, this particular tree is in a residential area in Glen Waverley. It's actually in a private property, and apparently it was causing nuisance, hazard, stress in a neighbouring property. So it went through a bit of a review by council officers. The recommendation was not to remove the tree. Council overruled that at our meeting last Tuesday night, citing the concerns from residents who are affected by this tree on a daily basis, and on the condition that it be replaced by another tree. So that's generally the process. Anything that's removed is replaced by a tree. I've never heard of a tree being removed and that's it, just sort of stays without any tree or vegetation. So that was 1.7. Moving on to 1.8, town planning schedules, hundreds of applications there, too many to go through. 1.9, footpath trading and access policy. Basically this is to input into our footpath and trading policy a condition to compel traders to serve food. And for those that know this matter more specifically, if you are a trader in Victoria and you serve food on a footpath or in a outdoor dining area, you cannot then offer your patrons to be allowed to smoke in that same area under the Tobacco Act, which was amended last year and came into effect in August 2017. So Monash Council's policy, which is currently out for consultation, won't allow any smoking anywhere in Monash, whether it's in Oakley or Glen Waverley or anywhere else. And it's a bit of an untested area because there could be an overriding principle that state laws take precedence over any council permit systems or regulations, bylaws, etc. It could be that this is challenged by another party, a trader or a resident or somebody else. But basically the principle is that smoking is banned anywhere in outdoor dining areas in Monash. At the moment, traders make the decision themselves if they want to offer smokers somewhere to sit outside. We have a number of traders that have chosen to do that across Monash. I think the number is close to hundreds. Some councillors think that it might be half a dozen. Also, it's certainly more than that. But my position is that people should be able to choose where they want to go, and they might choose based on a number of factors. But at the end of the day, the state parliament is the right level of government, the right forum to legislate on outdoor dining smoking, in my view. And as I've said many times, that's been done by the current government, as they said they would. The new laws have been in place for about 7 months, so any moves for councils to have their own regimes is, in my view, premature, even if you believe that it's the right course of action. But I just think, why why change something if it isn't broken in the city of Monash? We have a very successful outdoor dining precinct in many parts of Monash, and I don't support any moves to undermine that and to risk that in any respect. So if you want to have more of a say in the footpath and trading policy, by all means, provide your feedback. Go on the Monash Council website, send me an email if you like, and more than happy to hear your views. 2.1, Oakley Recreation Centre redevelopment, increasing the funding allocation by $3.3 million to that project. It's already got about $14 million worth from the Monash Council towards a total build of about $20 million. The new budget has now been increased to about 24 million, give or take, and that was decided on last week. The original scope was too small apparently, and so that's been required to be redesigned. For those that know, the current facilities include a number of basketball courts. There's also a gymnasium and an outdoor pool, and the basketball courts can be used for all sorts of different sports as well, whether it's volleyball or any other sports that use a similar type of area. The new facility will incorporate the Waverley Gymnastics Club, as well as other tennis clubs that will be coming into that area, and so there'll be tennis clubs who will be moving out of the area, who are currently in that space, but they'll be getting new tennis courts in an adjoining or a nearby area. So this would be one of the largest sporting facilities in Victoria. We have some of the best athletes who currently use the site, and we hope that that will continue for a very long time. Nevertheless, there are always issues with designing such projects, and it's also being funded by the state government and the federal government. So there's investment from all levels of government. It's supported broadly by a number of different stakeholders. And again, if you want to have a look at the designs, or rather the details of that, it's all on the Monash Council website. Moving forward, there was a few drainage improvement works. We bought a new garbage truck, about $400,000 worth. They're not cheap. Moving forward to 5.2 National General Assembly of the Australian Local Government Association. That's in Canberra in June, and the Monash Council will be sending, I believe it's 5 councillors to that event. I'll be one of those. There was a Tackling Poverty report at 6.2. I believe that there was some work to be done internally on that issue, as well as advocacy. There was another tree proposed to be removed at item 6.3. That was in Mulgrave. I don't believe that was supported, so the tree remains. 6.4 middle years funding. I think this was a motion to be put to the MAV's State Council. The MAV is the peak body of local government in Victoria, Municipal Association of Victoria. I think that was supported to advocate for more resources to be put towards middle years, so those children who are, I think it's 5 to 10 years old or somewhere there, so post toddler, early years, but not exactly teen children or teenagers, and also some internal resources to be reallocated and identified. Finally, the final notice of motion was pharmacotherapy from a previous decision of the Monash Council, and that's also relevant to the MAV's State Council, which will be held in May, and that puts forward a motion calling for better access and affordability of pharmacotherapy across Victoria. There was a proposed land sale in Atkinson Street, Chatston, which was supported, and there was another motion regarding the Glenwaverley Central Car Park, which was a decision to abandon the project that was in place there for some years to sell certain public space and to build some development on that site. So that was rejected. So that's the week that was in the Monash Council, and hopefully it wasn't too long. As always, feel free to ask any questions, to make a complaint to me or to others, to be in touch. I'll probably try to update you in this fashion maybe every few months when I have a day off, like today, public holiday. But always happy to speak, meet and discuss the local decisions that your council is making. Your council here in Monash has a $170 million budget. It's not uncommon for us to make decisions that affect over $100 million every single meeting, whether it's giving approval to a new hotel, whether it's spending $20 million on a new recreation centre in Oakley, whether it's spending $20,000 for a celebration in Oakley as we did a few weeks back. So I think it's good to keep in touch, to keep aware of what's happening, and to make your views known, whether you support or disagree, because decisions are made by those who show up. And thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the future about the job that I'm doing on your behalf. Thank you.